Alright, we're getting ready to steam with the Dupray NEAT. A small apartment, it's a little one bedroom. And this carpet is 14 years old. And the guy that lives here only gets it cleaned about every 3 or 4 years.
It's old, and it's got permanent stains. We don't know they'll come out.
Yeah, and it's a Berber.
We know the carpet will be clean, but we don't know if the stains will come out.
Let's see if we can.
There are probably permanent stains on a lot of this because it's been forever.
And we're just cleaning around furniture and everything, but we're just waiting for the steamer to heat up and we'll start cleaning. So stay tuned, we're getting ready to show the NEAT in action. Alright, the steamer heated up. We're getting ready to start. Now we did do a pre-spray on this carpet, which we generally do. You don't have to do it with a steamer, but we do it. And we put down some straight ammonia is what we sprayed the dingy areas with. And actually on some of them we put some 6% peroxide on it too. So we mixed the chemicals. We sprayed them one at a time on there, but it's a mix. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start steaming this. Now this machine's rated at 275 degrees at 50 psi. And of course that is what you might call a static pressure. It will drop a little bit when you have the button pressed for a period of time. But we found that it stays plenty hot, and we used to just let the machine catch up once in a while, but now we pretty much just stay wide open the whole time, and it never does lose enough pressure or steam that it's not cleaning good. What that is there is that's a little floor pad that they give you for cleaning hard floors, and we like the way that they glide on carpets, but those I don't know if you can see those bands that are on there. Those are hair ties.
It's a microfiber pad.
Yeah, it's a microfiber
It's for
pad.
cleaning floors, but you can clean anything you want with it. We use it for furniture and carpets.
Mattresses, any big flat objects. But the hair ties help hold the front edge up so it doesn't start to fold under.
They just keep it from...
On some carpets it may try to fold under a little bit on you.
It may.
Now they also have a bonnet that comes with the machine that fits that head. And you can do carpets with that, but we feel like it moves underneath too much. We don't like the way it slides on carpets. On floors it's fine, but we decided these floor pads, they're a lot easier to clean too.
Oh, the floor pads are super simple.
Yeah.
They're like no muss, no fuss. Now everything's not coming out on this, and it's not because we can't take the stuff out with this machine. It's
just because it's a 14-year-old carpet.
It's at least 14. It might be.
Yeah, it's got some permanent things in it.
Oh yeah.
There's some damage and everything. It's worn. It's a Berber, but it's worn.
We cleaned this carpet for this individual 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was and it's worse now than it was. I mean, you can't keep permanent damage out of these things over time. They just build up.
It kind of got some shadows, but yeah, it's kind of dark.
Shadows.
The threshold into the dining area, the kitchen area, here by the front door, and then out here, this is all dingy area, and I think this is just because of he's got everything else pretty much covered up with furniture, so this is where he does all the walking and everything. So over time, this apartment that this person's living in, it's a low area. I'll kind of put out the window a little bit so you can see. They've tried to fix it, but what happens is whenever it rains a lot, which in certain seasons here it does, this area is low, so you can't help but track, like muddy water in on your feet because it's just a low spot. And actually when it rains enough, the front entrance just outside, it will flood up a little bit, so you got like an inch of water, and it's dirty water, and you can't help but track it in, so that makes it really hard for him to keep his carpets in decent shape.
Now it is doing a good job. There is permanent stains in here that are just never coming out with no cleaning, but there's stuff coming out. I'm seeing the carpet turn blonder. Now we don't know what it looks like on camera. It's kind of dark in here actually.
Yeah.
But on camera it may be. Our camera has a uncanny ability to boost the lighting. So.
Yeah, it's not 100% accurate then, but when it's boosted. But
now the trick to use
you can get the idea.
The trick to use one of these steamers is this: there is no technique. If a carpet's real dirty, you take your time, you go over slow, and if it's cleaner, you can go pretty fast.
Yeah.
There is no technique to it. You just common sense.
It's pretty easy.
If you think you're not getting stuff out, slow down a little bit. If you're getting stuff out real fast, speed up a little bit if you want to.
One thing that's really nice about this is you could actually If you're someone who's up at night a lot, you can clean your carpets in the middle of the night. If you lived in an apartment building or something like that, you're not going to make noise by steaming. So it's a real quiet way to clean. Of course, we clean, sometimes we'll clean office spaces and stuff like that where people are trying to work. And having a machine that's silent is a big, big, big benefit. And this is a low moisture cleaning, so carpets generally will be dry in about an hour at the most. And this never gets to carpets where they're wet.
No, they won't be wet. If they're wet, it's from the pre-spray.
Yeah, most of the moisture is being carried away with steam, like you see there. So it doesn't really leave the surfaces too damp.
Well, what it does is you get a vacuum and you take out all the dry, like sand, gravel, hair,
The soils.
and stuff like that. And then everything else is like the stuff that you can just vaporize. Sodas, coffee, beer, whatever, macaroni and cheese that's been there for a long time, candy. It all just vaporizes and goes away. It turns into steam and goes into the atmosphere. And that's really what happens, although, it don't seem possible, but it's true. You're not really cleaning with, there's not enough weight on this thing to be cleaning with agitation. It's pure steam that's cleaning. The agitation's very little, if at all.
It still works.
Yeah, well, it works because you're vaporizing everything. You go over slow enough that all the stuff gets turned into a mist. And you can see that steam?
That steam's penetrating.
That steam is dirt. It's stuff vaporizing that's in the carpets right
Yeah,
now.
that steam penetrates to the base of the carpets. And so it's going, if you're not going too fast, that'll basically loosen up and break up anything that's in there. And it atomizes it. It's the best word I can think of to describe it. It atomizes it. But you're going to have some things, like over there where you have thresholds.
Steam built up a bit, and we're starting to that direction.
Where you have thresholds and stuff, it's really common to have wear that you can clean the carpet fibers, but you can't fix the damage.
Now, will this thing outrun our Oracle Orbiter? No. But it's not the same kind of a thing. The Oracle Orbiter is super fast. It cleans with pure agitation, and it's very aggressive. This is different. It cleans with pure steam. There is no agitation to speak of. And it's not the same thing, but you're cleaning the deep cleaning with steam.
Oh, it's green.
If someone asks me which method I like better, I say, I don't know. I've been using Oracle Orbiter for years, and I really, really love using it. But there's something about this is so clean, and customers love this.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy to sell to customers.
Well, one thing that's nice about this is you can clean carpets with this, and we do it professionally. But you can use this to clean your own carpets, but you can clean everything else in your house. The other equipment we generally have shown in the past, they're limited in what you can do with them.
Okay, that's a burn. I was going to try to take it up, but I really can't, unfortunately. When I come across burns, I don't try to take them out, but I do try to see if I can steam some of the darkness out of them in case there's some of it that's willing to come loose.
Let me switch angles a little bit, see if I can get a better view. Yeah, when you're using these to clean floors and carpets, just be mindful when you get to the end of the hose. Don't resist the temptation to pull the unit along by the hose a little bit, because it's not good for it. It's better just to stop and move the unit, and that's a good chance to let the heat build back up again if you're concerned about that.
Yeah, normally I go a little quicker in this, but this is real dirty, so I'm just taking my time. And every time you see steam coming up, you're seeing stuff that's in the carpet vaporize is coming up in the steam. And over time, and that stuff's going to disappear into the atmosphere. I know that sounds weird, but that's really what's going on. It's no more scientific than that right there. No more complicated.
And like we've mentioned before, do be aware, a carpet cleaner left a comment on one of our videos, and I'm glad he brought it up because it's something to keep in mind of. When you vaporize whatever's in your carpets, you could be breathing that.
Yep.
Now it should be safer because it's been blasted with some steam. Anything over 180 degrees, it should kill off any organisms or anything else that you need to be concerned with. But Depending on if you have if somebody's ever sprayed your carpets down with any chemicals or anything like that, some past cleaners have done that, you may have things being released. So be careful about what you're breathing, and if you can, have some ventilation, just so you're going to steam up your house while you're cleaning anything, and depending on what kind of cleaning chemicals you put down, just be aware you may want to ventilate your house real well. Once you get used to cleaning with steam and you don't need to use those chemicals nearly as much or at all, over time your floors will be clean of all the chemical residues and things, and you don't need to worry about it so much. But on your initial cleanings, just be aware of that. Now we use pre-sprays because that's kind of what's expected with carpet cleanings. When they come to your house, you need to use some sort of chemical. Jay, take a look at that peephole and see what's going on out there, 'cause something might be. Okay.
But it's a pretty simple deal. You just take your time and go over the carpets and steam them. Oh, and if you get one of these and you start steaming your carpets and you find there's stains you can't get out, don't think you made a mistake and the steamer don't work. There's stains that if you can't get it out with this, you won't get it out with anything else. There's permanent stains and a lot of carpets.
Yeah, there's things that, like if you sprayed Resolve on some stains, you can make them set in permanently so you'll never get them out. Of course, there's a lot of stains that, heat will set them in permanently, so you got to be careful with that. That's one of the reasons we pre-spray, so we can see how the stains are reacting, and in case there's something that we don't want to get hot right off the bat.
Without video, my brother's sick, so he couldn't make videos for a while. I did some really dirty carpets with this, and I got them 100% clean. And I've done some carpets that are really dirty. I can't get them 100% clean. I've done some carpets that were minorly dirty. I couldn't get them 100% clean. It's not based off how good the machine works. It's based off there's some stuff's permanently set in, and you're never getting it out with anything. It's just the way it is. Some carpets
like this red stain.
We don't know if it'll come out.
That red stain right there, that's a long time standing red stain.
Oh, that's been there for years.
Once they've been set for too long, a lot of time, and especially if that one's been treated with something.
It's pink and stuff. Someone's tried to get it out
Yeah.
and failed at it.
Now some of those you're never going to get them out
probably
because
set it in.
they could have.
Those furniture marks. I'm not taking those out. I'm not charging for it. I don't care about them.
But this steamer will take furniture prints out if you want to.
Furniture prints out.
If you want to hover over them enough.
Yeah.
That may have lightened a little bit.
May come out.
A lot of red stains, you can get them out, but they'll just come back after a few days.
Well, now that has peroxide and ammonia on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to come out, but it
may fade a little bit.
I think it did something to it. Let me work on it. I'd love to take it out if I could, because that's what I do. Try to make perfect looking carpets.
I'm just going to make a video basically in this living room. We got the hall and the bedroom to clean, but there's nothing really.
They're not spectacular.
There's nothing spectacular to look at in there. So. Yeah, this carpet, unfortunately, is just old enough, and
I gotta say, I think that red stain may have came out. Let me can probably turn on the overhead light.
Missed it.
I don't know where it's at.
Hold on. There it is. It's starting to get really cloudy out.
If that's not out, that's close. But I'm not charging for it, so I'm not going to put too much into it.
Yeah, like I see, these threshold areas still look a little dingy, and that's going to be damaged too.
It's permanent wear.
There's going to be some stains that are permanent. You're not going to get them 100% out, and then there's damage, and that's going to affect the way the carpet looks.
This dark area here seems to be coming out, so apparently it's not permanent wear. Of course, you can't tell till you fool with it.
Yeah, we're kind of keeping an eye on. We were warned when we came over here that the neighbors next door have had the cops out several times on them, and they like to steal. And there are some wild people hanging around, so we're kind of trying to pay attention to that at the same time, so nothing else, just to keep track of what's going on around us. When you're in apartment complexes, you always want to be careful about leaving doors open and things like that, because you never know who's going to walk in. And if you've got a vehicle, you want to keep an eye on that too. That's one thing that's always been bad with truck mount cleaners. Unless they've got their van set up so that everything can be locked inside while it's running, which is bad if the engine catches on fire. But anyway, they have to leave their trucks open, and in certain neighborhoods, people go through their trucks while they're in a house cleaning, and there's not much they can do about it.
No.
Unless they want to bring an extra person just to sit with the truck. But also they have the problem with the hoses and stuff coming in the house. They can't secure the doors, which is just, that's not a knock on truck mount cleaning. It's just one of the disadvantages they have to deal with, and they're used to it. But it's
well, some of the more expensive ones have
they have systems where you can put your hoses through the doors.
They got holes in the doors for some of the more expensive setups.
Yeah, but then you got to worry about the heating. You got a motor running inside a closed van, and that can cause some problems. So that's one of those things. It's one of the costs of doing business, and that's one thing we're happy about, is that we can basically secure the doors in a place where we're working, and people don't even really know we're in there, except they may have seen us come in.
Well, when you're in like the bonnet cleaning business, carpet cleaning, or this kind of stuff, you can just lock your car up, or your truck, or whatever, your van, and go on in, and you're not worried about it too much. You don't have your stuff open where all the neighborhood kids after school can go start grabbing your things out of the back of your van.
There's a lot of abrasion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing when you're in business is if you're going to neighborhoods, it doesn't matter what kind of business it is. You don't want people being able to steal your tools off your vehicle whenever you're trying to work in someone's backyard or whatever. Cause,
there goes your whole profit.
Well, I know a lot of people that like do construction work and everything, like putting on backyard decks and things like that. They have the problem with things walking off, you know.
Well,
so.
And some of those truck mount cleaners, they got wands that cost, $1,500.
Yeah, you can have $1,000 or plus wand
just stolen.
just disappear out the back of your truck, plus your vacuums and your CRBs and chemicals. I mean, anything that's left where people can get their hands on it, they'll take it just because it's available.
And that's not a reason not to have a truck mount if you want one, but it is something you want to figure out how to secure everything. You just cannot trust people. It's a mean world we're living in.
Yeah, this area here is still pretty dingy.
I don't know if we can fix it.
You could try it from a different angle.
When I finish the living room, I'll come back on it, but I think that's permanent. That stuff's probably been there for 6 or 7 years.
I'm getting close. We got about a 20-minute limit on videos with this camera, so I'm getting close to the end of it. This is enough you can get the gist of what we're doing.
I think that red thing has lightened up quite a lot.
Yeah, but it's still faintly there.
If you put a little more peroxide on it, I'll hit it one more time.
I'm going to pause the camera here, and we'll either be back to show you some final results, or depending on how things go, we may not show anything else, but stay tuned. Alright, we've done what we can do with this living room today, and there are some dingy looking areas, but there's a lot of wear in this carpet, and the red he worked on a little bit more, and it's pretty faint.
It is a lot more better than it was.
But a lot of that stuff, you never know what's going to happen when in a couple days. Sometimes that stuff pops back on you a little bit, but it's no big deal. He's had that for years and years in his carpet.
So we weren't supposed to get it out.
Nah, we're just cleaning. He has a pet, so he just wants to make sure the carpets are cleaned up a little bit. Check the video description for more for a link to Amazon for the Dupray NEAT, and you can get more information on it. You can see other people's reviews and everything. And it is an Amazon exclusive product right now, so you can't even buy it off Dupray's website. You have to go to Amazon, and that's the only place. So I'll give you a link below that you can go check it out. I'll also put a link in for our Amazon influencer store, which has various other products for cleaning that you might be interested in. So go check that out if you get a chance. Till next time, thanks for watching.